Ward with OT Marshall Architects.
I'm Marcus Ward, Senior Assistant City Attorney.
And again, Robert Lipscomb, our director, should be joining us shortly. I think he's just gotten hung up at the office past when he thought he would. But the reason we're having this public hearing tonight is to present a plan that many of you have actually seen for the Raleigh Springs Mall site in order to facilitate the acquisition, demolition, or any other activities on the site. We're required by state law to develop what's called an urban renewal plan for the area. So we've developed that plan, and there's a process of getting the plan approved. And so far, the process is to go to the Memphis Housing Authority's board. We did that in December, and then January it was approved. And then we've got to go to the city council to have them approve the plan, and we've done that over the past couple of months. And then our last step is to have a public hearing just to present the plan for the site so that we can have the final approval of the plan and get started on the project. So I know we were talking with some of you have seen this plan. It's not a new plan that we haven't presented, but we did want to give the opportunity, since most of the presentations we've made have been out at the Raleigh United Methodist Church and the Raleigh community. We wanted to have a public hearing that was more open to just citizens who are interested in hearing about the plan. So that's the purpose of our meeting tonight. We have a brief presentation, kind of to give an overview of the broad view of why this project is so important to the city of Memphis. And then Kate is going to give a brief presentation on the actual plan for the property for the Raleigh Springs redevelopment. And then we like to open it up to you if you have any questions or comments so that we can get some feedback from you. And we really appreciate you coming out tonight. So again, just to give kind of a sense of how this project will tie into the goals for creating Memphis as a city of choice. The vision, as you can see on the screen, is to create safe and vibrant places for our citizens, for our economy to prosper, and for opportunity for all. We want to invest in young people so that talent gets developed and retained, and also advance a culture of excellence in government so that we are responsible, accountable, and successful as a city. The priorities that are related to that include creating safe and vibrant neighborhoods, which this project ties into, to grow prosperity and opportunity for all of our citizens, to invest in our young people, and again, to advance a culture of excellence in city government. One of the things we wanted to focus on was some of, what makes Memphis first, best, and only. So this picture shows some of those landmarks and businesses and our riverfront, natural resources, all the things that make Memphis unique and make Memphis special. Here's another look at that, but this one shows the locations of some of what we're calling town centers, of which Raleigh is one. So just to show in context of all these lines go to where these different projects such as Graceland, Fairgrounds, Pink Palace, Shelby Farms, the zoo, just some of the major attractions in Memphis and where this project fits in. You can see Raleigh Town Center is at the top of the map. So to narrow down a bit, our Raleigh project is what we're considering a town center for the Raleigh community. So what we're looking at are these town centers across the city that really anchor the neighborhoods that they're in. So this map just shows those three town centers. Again, Raleigh is at the furthest north of them. And we're also showing, while they're not really town centers, some major redevelopment initiatives that we've done throughout the city and the core are the Memphis Housing Authority's Hope 6 projects that were major public housing renovations and revitalization projects. So in terms of why the city of Memphis is the thoughts behind this type of development model, such as a town center, are that we want to create projects that are self-financing, try to reduce the city's reliance on property taxes alone as an income stream. We want to invest in projects that are catalysts to attract private development, so it's not just a public investment that's going in, but we want to leverage that by attracting private investment as well. We want to build on those distinctive first, best, and only assets that were presented earlier in the presentation. We want to look at what are game-changing projects. So what are, those big projects that are going to have a really big impact in the communities that we're focusing on. Build and use innovative financing tools. Look at how we have anchor project, again, of which Raleigh is going to be an anchor project in the Raleigh community. Invest in projects that have a long-term return on investment. We want to focus on placemaking. So again, we're looking at neighborhood-based strategies and not just citywide strategies. And engage private developers and management firms that are considered best in class, and really build on the public infrastructure work that we already do as a city and kind of leverage that to use in these developments. Again, we're leading in. This shows again where those town centers are. And the importance of the neighborhood town centers to the city of Memphis is that we really believe that they help to restore the urban fabric in Memphis. They revive and revitalize the neighborhoods that they're located in. Again, a revitalization of blighted and underutilized properties. Create social connections and a sense of identity within the communities that they're in. They build on existing infrastructure so that a lot of new infrastructure doesn't need to be associated with these types of projects. They encourage public-private partnerships. The public investment reduces the risk for the private developers. And they increase property values for the property owners around them, which creates an incentive for the property owners themselves to reinvest. So how that relates to the Raleigh project is what we hope is we build this town center on the existing infrastructure that's there, and then encourage maybe some of the other businesses along Austin P to redevelop some of their properties as well. Or encourage new businesses to come in and invest along Austin P. We're going to turn it over to Kate to talk about the specifics of the project.
So to back up just a second and give a little bit of another overall picture, like Mari mentioned, one of the goals is to create game-changing projects in the city of Memphis that have lots of positive outcomes. So kind of the start of this project came when it was brought to the table that a traffic precinct would be put on the site of the old Cecil's at Austin P, right across the street from the mall. And what the city did is took a look at that project in and of itself and thought about what positive effects that one project had. But then also, if you maybe add some more things into that, then what it might turn into be a game changer. And so that's kind of how this project came to, I guess, fruition a little bit. It's creating one opportunity and then working with that to make a bigger impact in the Raleigh community because it's so important to the overall success of the city. So moving forward, this is a overall vision of what the site could look like. Lots of fun trees and water features and awesome, amazing things. But what that is like Mari was saying before, if you see on the right-hand picture, you can see that the footprint of the Raleigh Mall is kind of in the center of what could be a much larger development of the Austin P corridor. So this is a really heavily trafficked area, and it's a very dense area. But what it could look like is what is on the left, which is a big picture thing. It's not, one thing added, but it's a culmination of so many different aspects that can create really a sense of place for the Raleigh community. So the Raleigh Mall redevelopment is at the center of that. So again, that game-changing project can get in there and create the ability for all of this other development to occur down the corridor. So it's the first piece to a much larger puzzle to create really great effects. So the conceptual plan at this point, you can see Austin P is the diagonal here, and Yale is up at the top. And so the first piece of this puzzle is the civic activities. So prior to this civic activities going in there, the site would be acquired, the entire site of this piece that the mall